Hello, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Okay. Hey, Kilo. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Welcome. So, we are here for a new Voyager development stream. So, how is everyone doing? Today's Saturday, really nice day. It's sunny outside. It's a bit cold. We are going through winter here, so it's a bit cold, but it's really nice. So yeah, that's basically what I have to comment for now. So, first of all, I want to say thank you, Jor, for the most recent follow. Thank you very much. We are at 63 current followers. That means there's, after 7 more followers, we're going to reach 70, okay? Hey, Linux Sword, thank you very much for the raid. Hey, welcome raiders. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I don't have an alert for raids. I'm yet to implement it, so yeah, sorry about it, but I did see the notification there in the feed, the activity feed, so thank you very much for the raid. So let's give a shout out to Linux Sword. Is this? Shout out to Linux Sword. Okay, everyone who's watching, please go give Linux Sword a follow, please. To go now. Okay. Have a good one. Hey. My kitty is grabbing some stuff from a bag there. So thank you again for the raid, and thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much. Have a good one. I hope you had a great stream. So yeah, Okay, I was just saying that we were at 63 followers, but now Linuxor is now the most recent follower, so we are at 64. 6 more followers to go for the current follower goal, which is 70. So that's great. Thank you very much, everyone. So, okay, so let's get into some. Well, first of all, let me just check really quick my audio. Okay. So I was suspecting that something wasn't right. Let me just pause the music really quick. Yeah, so what the hell is happening here? So, okay, so it seems like that's better. Let's hear it. Okay, so it seems like that's better. Let's hear it. Okay, so I think it is. Let's try now with some music. Okay. I think it is. Let's try now with some music. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. I have an issue with OBS and my current GPU. So I have an RX 580. Okay, that's my GPU. It's an AMD GPU. And the thing is, every time I open OBS, my PC crashes. Okay, so the graphics card crashes. I don't know why. It's really weird. But apparently that's like an issue that exists in OBS and they can't fix it for some reason. It's just that particular issue with my GPU model, and that's it. So until I change my GPU, I'm going to have that issue. But sometimes the crash is like a lot more drastical than others. So sometimes it doesn't crash. I would say it's like 3 times out of 5. And now what happened before the stream, I opened up OBS, and for some reason a lot of like audio setting windows from OBS opened up. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. I just opened up OBS and then it crashed as always. And then a lot of windows like audio settings and the compressor I have for my microphone and everything opened up, and I had to close everything. But for some reason, I don't know what happened, but my audio, like my microphone volume was way lower. I don't know why. So yeah, I just realized that because I forgot to test my audio. That's why always at the beginning of the stream I just give like my little stream, I give it a listen to my feedback stream I have here, just to check and make sure that everything is okay, because yeah, I don't know, it happens and it's really annoying, but it is what it is. I cannot do anything about it. So yeah. Okay, so I think everything is okay right now. I want to do like a little extra check on my phone just for like making fully sure that it's working fine. So give me one moment. Stream manager. Okay. Okay, so what's happening? It's like not loading for some reason. Okay. Let's do some testings here. Okay. Okay, hello. How is the audio? Okay. Seems like it's all good. So yeah. Okay, now we can properly start the stream. Now, yeah, I'm sorry about that, everyone. It was like really a really messy start of the stream, but yeah, now we're here. Okay, everything is fine. Again, I wanted, in case you didn't listen, I wanted to thank Linuxor for the raid and also for the follow. So thank you very, very much. And yeah, so now we're good to go. So let's start with some Voyager dev, right? Okay, so let's see. I streamed yesterday, okay, and I did some good amount of progress, okay. So we have our isometric space navigation, okay, and we basically finished the essential parts of this, okay, which is well, not everything. We just finished like placing some stuff in space, and we finished making the basic part for the planetary system map, okay, the mini map you see here. Okay, so you can basically track the position of your starship, okay, basically. You can see that when I go into hyperspeed, I move a lot faster throughout this space, okay. And you can see that there are some planets there. So now the actual size of the planet is correctly represented here in the actual scene and also in the minimap, which is really cool. Okay, so you can see here when I get into the planet here, you can see that well, this planet is really, really big. Okay, so that's one thing. Then let's go to, well, we can see that the other 3 planets are like medium-sized. So yeah, we can see here, medium-sized planet, okay. That's great, that's great. And yeah, so we can basically just navigate and go to any planet we want, okay. That's the idea. Here we can see this other planet, okay. And yeah, so this is pretty cool, pretty good. I wanted to say good or cool, and I just mixed up those 2 words. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh yeah, I'm seeing like the actual chat messages bugged. So the stream elements message, and then the kilo message, and they are bugged. And that really bothers me. And yeah, I have to find the time at some point to be able to to fix that. So yeah, okay, but anyways, that's really good. Okay, so we made a really good amount of progress yesterday. So planets now have different sizes. And also, not only you can see that in the actual scene, you can see that in the minimap too. Okay, so that's what we did yesterday. Okay, but not only that, we also did something for the. We basically defined some rules for how the planets get created, okay? When we create a star, remember that almost everything here is created procedurally, okay? So when you enter, the universe gets created, and then like the things are created once you go to that thing, okay? So to put it in like a more tangible words, basically when you start the game, you start at a constellation, okay? So you're always inside a constellation, inside a star of that constellation, okay? That's the idea. And that constellation is created procedurally, and also the stars inside that constellation are also created procedurally. And each star contains a limited, like a set amount of planets, okay, between 1 and 4 planets. And basically, before we were doing this completely random, okay? But now we set some rules, okay? So that there's some kind of, we have some level of control over how many planets there are in a star, and depending on like which orbit the planet is in, okay? So let me show you this really quick. So, oh yeah, I think I have the actual files here, the boards where I explain all of this, and it's a bit easier for me to explain this using Leonardo, so let's use it. So basically what we defined is we said, okay, we need for the star to create between 1 and 4 planets, okay? But it doesn't end there. What do I want? I want for the star to always have, not always, but for most of the stars to have between 3 and 4 planets, and then like a handful of stars to have 2 planets, and then really small amount of stars will have 1 planet, okay? So this graph is basically describing the amount of planets and the probability here, okay? So you can see that 1 planet has between, like, it's like 1 probability, okay? Between 1 and 10, you could say. Then 2 has around here, which is 50%. Then 3 has here, which is, I don't know, maybe 90%. And then 4 has, so you get the idea, okay? So this determines how many planets their star is going to have. So this is because I want stars to like have between 3 and 4 most of the time, and then sometimes you can find stars that contain 1 or 2 planets, and those are like more uncommon stars, okay? And that's because I want to do something with that. So maybe if you find a star that has only 1 planet, maybe that's like an abandoned star, or the planet is like, I don't know, we can think about that in the future, but for now this is what I defined because I want it to be like this. And we also use that same concept, okay, of setting a probability curve for the actual creation of the planets, okay? So there's a couple basic properties that planets have, okay? There's a lot of things that I have to define on planets when they get created, such as like the terrain, the sky color, the material of the ground, how much vegetation there is, if there's water or not. So there's a lot of things I have to define in the planets, but for now we're doing the most basic stuff, which is the stuff that's needed for when the star gets created, okay? So when you create a star, when the star is created procedurally, it automatically creates the planets that it contains, but it creates the basic properties, okay? So that it the idea is that we don't create all of the data at once, because it would be really heavy, really intensive. It doesn't make any sense. You have to create these things step by step and at the moment where it needs to be created, okay? So when you create a star, you say, okay, so the star is going to be this color, it's going to have this seed, okay? They have a seed. The star is going to have this many planets, and okay, and so on. So once the amount of planets in the star are defined, the star is going to create, like I said, the basic properties of the planets, so that each planet at least has some basic data that then when you go to the actual planet, when you land on it, it finishes creating. Okay, so we're like basically breaking up the stages of creation of the data. Okay, so that's the idea basically. Now, what's the basic data that I'm creating for the planets? Well, that's the planet name, the planet colors, which are for now they are being used for the sprite. So I'm basically creating the sprite, which is made by a shader that has some shapes and textures and colors. So I'm defining that so that we can see them here in space in the scene. Okay, because otherwise they will be like a flat circle, but we need to create the textures of the planet, and those are going to be defined by other stuff that we didn't determine yet. But for now I'm just creating a random texture for the planet. Okay, but the data that's being created correctly now is the actual orbit that the planet is in. So how far away from the star it is. Okay, so this one is in the first orbit, then we have this one, it's in the second orbit, we have this one, it's in the third orbit, and this one, the last orbit. Okay, so once the planet creates that, then the star itself is going to define the size of the planet depending on some things. Basically, the only rule that I established right now is that if the planet is on the first orbit, then that planet cannot be a big planet. Okay, it's going to be a small or medium-sized one. Okay, and the sizes of the planets are 4. Okay, they can be size 1, size 2, size 3, and size 4. Okay, so I'm defining some limits and ranges so that everything is simpler to work with, because I could say, okay, but maybe the planet could be like, the sizes could be completely random, and like one could be 0.38 and the other one could be 7.96. I don't want that, because I want to define stuff and try to use like really small ranges and like some limitations. Okay, some level of limitations, so that I have some kind of control over how everything is generated. Okay, so that's the only rule. Well, there's 2 things I set for how planets sizes get selected. Okay, so the first one I already mentioned is that if the planet is on the first orbit, then that planet is going to be like a small or medium-sized planet. Okay, then if the planet is in any other orbit, then it can be whatever size, small, big, medium, whatever. Okay, but I set some limits so that in each star there only can be a maximum of 1 small planet and a maximum of 1 big planet. Okay, so you cannot find a star that contains, for example, 2 or more big planets or 2 or more small planets. Okay, so they are going to be called dwarf planets, I think they're called, in like real astrophysics. So yeah, that's basically some of the things that we defined, and we also used are using a probability curve for the most common sizes. Okay, so what am I doing here is defining the probability for each one of the sizes that a planet can have. So planets can be size 1, which is the smallest one, 2, which is medium, 3 is medium but a little bigger, and 4, which is the bigger planet, is huge, okay? So what I'm doing here is basically saying, okay, I want sizes 2 and 3 to be the most common sizes for planets, okay? So you're most likely to find planets with this size. And then planets, really small planets and big planets are going to be rare, okay? More uncommon to find. And so that's really good, but because with that we established some rules of how the star and the planets are generated, okay? So now I can go here and show you really quick. If I hit play, it means that, for example, you can see here we have one really small planet, okay? You can go there. There it is. It's a really tiny planet. Okay. So there's our small planet, but then the other 3 planets are medium-sized planets. Okay, so we can go there to those planets so you can see them. Okay. You can see here. So this is like a size 3 planet. Okay. And the other planets there, okay, in the star are pretty big too. So that's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. It's working perfectly. And yeah, so that's what we did in the previous stream. Okay. And that's pretty good. So now I have a couple tasks here in my planner tool. Okay, it's not a planner tool. I'm using Figma to create my planner thing. So we're going to go through the tasks we have for today, but first I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to take a little break and I'll be right back in a bit, okay? Okay. I am back. Okay. So now what were we doing? So yeah, my tummy is not feeling great, but yeah. Okay, so now let's go through the current tasks we have. Okay, so we have this, which is check what's happening with the planet sizes probabilities. Okay, and this is something I already fixed. Okay, because so let me show you something really quick. So I was using this curve to determine the amount of not the amount, sorry. Let me go here. So this is the curve, right? So I was using this to say, okay, so planets are going to pick a random size, but the probability for each size is going to be defined by this curve. What does this mean? What I had in mind was this. This vertically was probability from 1 to 100, okay? So this was probability, and this here, 1, 2, or more like here, 3 and 4, this was sizes or size, okay? So what does this mean? It's like I just explained before, which is basically this curve says, okay, so 1, which is here, okay, this value is going to have this amount of probability, okay, which is, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. Then 2 is going to be around here, which is, I don't know, what's this, 90. Then 3, all again, it's 90, okay. And then 4 is going to be the same as 1, around 10, 1 and 10% probability, okay. So that's how I thought about this logic. But when I programmed the actual algorithm that does the probability thing, okay, which is this, let me show you really quick. This is the method I'm using for getting a random number, but between a range with a certain curve to define the probability of each number between, like, inside that range, okay? So basically how this, I'm not going to explain what this does, which is basically just grabs the mean and max and does some calculations to then return a random number between mean and max, okay, with the corresponding probabilities between each one. So in this case, okay, in this one, the thing that what should happen is, okay, 1 is the less, is going to have less chances. 1 and 4 are going to have a lot less chances than 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are most likely to appear. Okay, so that's basically what this is doing. But the way that I coded this is doing it the other way around. So instead of this, the axes are flipped. So instead of the vertical axis being the probability, what's happening here is that the actual vertical axis is the size, okay, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3 and 4. and then the horizontal axis is going to be the probability. Okay. So basically here, the actual thing, like the way I should use the curve is this. So I managed to fix it, and I have this curve now, and this curve is basically saying, okay, so there's a little chance for, so it's basically this. So for 1, there's a little chance, okay? But then when it gets to 2 and 3, it's going to flatten, okay? So flattens there, and then it goes straight up into 100. So yeah, it's like, it's a little confusing because it's not how I thought about the real logic of the graph. And I'm not a graph expert, I don't know the formulas and all that, but I managed to code this, which works perfectly, but basically it's not this way. Like the axes are flipped, so are not represented like this. Vertical is the value, okay, the values, and horizontal is the actual probability, okay? So that's basically it, and that means that that basically I have to define things this way, okay? So I would like to fix this at some point, like the actual formula, okay, so that I can use it this way, because in fact there's a couple places where I'm using it like the other way around. Like I'm using it as if it worked like this, but it's not. So either way, it's kind of working, I think, but yeah, I will have to fix that at some point. So I'm just going to, okay, what the hell? So I'm just going to, oh yeah, I was pressing Z because Z is for zoom. Here in this app, you can see that Z is for zooming, but here in Figma, it's, well, Z it's also for zoom, but for some reason I started like typing there. But yeah, here in Figma, I press Control, I hold Control, and then use my wheel. So, so here in Other, I would basically go here and say, improve get random number with probability method to use y-axis for probability and x-axis for the actual values. Now we're going to leave that there because we're not going to bother with it for now, okay? Now we know that this is working that way, okay? And in fact, I can assure that, I can show you that this is working because I can go here, for example, and if I go here and instead of using this, I say easings.linear. If I use a linear curve, this is going to use like 100 samples to then, what's happening is this. I'm going to explain this really quick. We have a bucket, okay? So the algorithm is a bucket that has entries, okay? So my entries are those tickets, okay? Those are tickets entries, and each one of these is going to be multiple times in the bucket, okay? So if I want 2 and 3 to have the most chances of getting out of the bucket, of being picked, that's what I'm saying, then 2 and 3 are going to be there like maybe 50 times. But then 4 is going to be 5 times inside the bucket. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if those are tickets, then we have like maybe 5 tickets of 1, 5 tickets of 4, and then I don't know, maybe 35 tickets of 2 and 35 tickets of 3. And then we place all of those tickets inside here, the bucket, and then we shuffle the bucket. Okay, we shuffle it, and then pick one random. It's like you enter your hand on the bucket, okay, and then pick one from there. You don't know what's going to come out, okay, which ticket you chose, but you picked up. But you know that 2 and 3 are more likely to appear because there's a lot of those tickets. But you can pick up 1 because there's a couple of them, but this is more about chance, and basically this function is creating 100 tickets and then assigning how many tickets of each value there's going to be in the bucket based on the curve we use there. So for that, I'm going to hit play now, and you can see now, you're going to see, okay, no, you're not going to see anything because I'm whatever. Oh yeah, I should be able to see it. So if I hit play now, you should see that each one of the values, which is the values are the sizes of the planet. So remember, we have 4 sizes for planets. They can be size 1, size 2, size 3, or size 4, okay? And you can see here, maybe, I don't know if you can see for the resolution that we have, but there's exactly 25 entries of each one of the values. So that means it's linear. It's like the chances are equal for all of the values. But now if I use the actual curve I was using before, okay, which is the one I drew here, this one, this is going to say, okay, so 1 is going to have like really low probability, but then 2 and 3 are going to have a lot of probabilities, okay, because they're picking up all of those. And then 4 is going to have like really little chances. So that's how it works. Now, if I hit play here, you're going to see that 1 and 4 are going to have a lot less entries than 2 and 3. And that's exactly what's happening. So 1 has 5 and 4 has 4, but 2 and 3 have 46 and 45, okay? So those are the chances, okay? The chances of each value of each ticket to come out, okay? So that's basically what I'm doing. Sorry. So now we can assure, okay, now we know that this is working properly. So now that we have this, what the hell is this? A necessary assignment of the value to final size. Okay, I can just remove this and then, okay, perfect. So now that we have this, we know that the probability thing is working perfectly. So I'm just going to remove this task because it's done. Now, the next thing is, if you go out of the planetary system bounds, more enemies are going to spawn, so you're more likely to die, okay? So that's the idea I have for when you go out of bounds. So the thing we're going to try to solve now is this. Let me show you really quick. And it should be fast. It shouldn't take a lot. So let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me hit play here. Okay. And you say, okay, so I can navigate infinitely. So like I can go literally anywhere. There's no limits, okay? And that's true. You can go literally anywhere. So you can just activate your hyperspeed and go, like you can see here, I'm going straight in a straight line, okay? And I'm not doing anything, I'm just going in a straight line. Now you can already see one of the issues, okay, which is that the actual indicator of the starship position is going outside of this panel, okay? Now that's problem number one. Now problem number two is which you can argue that maybe this is not a problem, maybe. So the thing is, I think that it's a bit odd. It feels weird to let players go like infinitely to whatever direction they want, because they're not going to find anything here. That's the thing, okay? In fact, you can see I'm moving and the background is not even moving. So yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I broke anything or something. But yeah, you can already see that I'm like really far away. And well, yeah, the background is moving, but it's moving like in a really slow rate and it looks weird. And I think it's because we're in a really far away position. Now, I'm not entirely sure what to do about this. I have a couple ideas, of course. Now, one of the ideas I had, and I already discarded that idea because it's, I don't know, it's not good for many reasons. One of my ideas was that once you go like outside of this limit, then you loop back to this side. So you know, like asteroids. Yeah, I think I should basically show you a video in one moment. So let me show you this. This is going to be easier to explain if I show you this video. So did you ever play asteroids? Basically in this game everything loops in the same space, okay? So let's see if the starship moves at all at some point. Okay, so it's moving there, okay. Well, so yeah, this guy likes to be whatever, it doesn't matter. What you can see here is that the actual asteroids, for example this one, look back here, okay? And I was thinking about doing something like that. That was one of the ideas I had. And the thing about that is that when you're moving here, like in this space, you can see that your like the camera is locked on the starship, so the camera is not fixed. It means that if I move the position of the starship, okay, if I say okay, now it's going to be 10, okay, you already saw what happened there. So look at this. If I, for example, let's say the limit horizontally is 100, then when you go beyond that limit you will look back to 0 in X, okay? But look what happens here to the background and to everything when I do that. I set it to 0 and you can see that the background is like it snapped. And that's because the camera, not only the starship moved to the other side, but also the camera. So everything's going to look really janky and that's not good. So that's the reason I don't want to use that wrapping mechanic. Okay, so that's already discarded. We're not going to use that. Now the other solution I have for that, the other idea is that basically when you go and we're going to talk about what happens with the planetary system. Hey, personal Hattie, how you doing? So we're going to talk about what happens with the planetary system map, but for now I'm talking about what happens with the actual starship in space. So one thing I thought about is that when you go like beyond this space, basically point number one, your hyperspeed needs fuel. So if you run out of fuel, the idea is that you can farm fuel, like there's going to be some, like, I don't know, space rocks or asteroids or stuff like that, that basically you can shoot and destroy to get fuel, basically, okay? Something like that. But when you go beyond, maybe there's not any more space rocks or anything, so you can run out of fuel and you're stuck out of the main space, okay? That's one of the things, but I don't think that's really good. So you should be able to farm like for fuel everywhere. I think that should be the case. But what I thought is that maybe when you go out of bounds, a lot of enemies start spawning, and then like you cannot fight against them because there are too many. And you, hey, how you been? It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. It's all good here. How are you? Can I ask you something? Yeah, of course. Ask me. So yeah, I think the spawning a lot of enemies idea is a lot better for that. Now the thing is, we don't have enemies right now, like starship enemies, enemy starships. We don't have that right now, so I'm just going to add that to the other list here, to planetary system thing. Okay, just going to add this task here. Okay, it's perfect. Okay, great. Now we have this. Can you add my icon to your game? Oh yeah, you ask that question always. Yeah, I think I can, but not right now. I'm just working on other things. So yeah, maybe in the future, maybe, I don't know, some months from now. You know what? I'm thinking about creating some kind of mini game or something in the stream, okay, that you can play, or maybe you can redeem some points, okay, to then ask me to add something like an Easter egg or something you like to the game, okay? So that's something I'm going to think about in the future, but for now, I don't know. I can't confirm I will add your icon to the game because right now it's too early and I'm working on other stuff. I'm not even thinking of like adding stuff from users or from subscribers or anything like that for now. But I will be doing stuff like that in the future. So if you stay tuned and you follow the development and you subscribe and do all those things to support the actual project, then of course I will consider adding your icon and stuff to the game. But yeah, so yeah, okay, so now we have moved that task to the other list, which is basically a list that's for later. And in our current list, we have planetary system map. We have a couple tasks we need to fix here. Okay, so first of all, we need to mask the astronaut position indicator inside the panel. Okay, so what's that? That's basically just preventing this thing. Okay, this is the astronaut position like indicator. Now this shouldn't happen. This should be like inside this panel, and that's what we're going to fix right now. This should be a long time I've been asking other devs, but they were jerks. But you're a nice dev, thank you. Yeah, the thing is, as I already explained, you have to do something first in order to then ask for something for you. Okay, so you know how if you go to the market, for example, if you want let's say you want chocolate, okay, you cannot go to the market and say I want a chocolate, okay, and they give it to you for free. That doesn't happen. Okay, it can happen sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't happen. Okay, so what do you have to do to get that chocolate? You have to pay for that chocolate. Okay, I'm not saying you have to pay for your icon to be in my game, but you have to do something in return. Okay, so if you ask for example, if you ask to other devs for them to add your icon or something in their game, you need to do something for them first. But it was broke king. I don't know what you're trying to say with that, but I'm not saying you have to do something with money, and I'm not saying you have to pay, but you can do stuff like support the project, be there, like, I don't know, maybe comment there and be there for a while, for many days, and show your actual interest in the project. Because in this case, for me, for example, I only see you like a couple times every 1 or 2 months, and the only thing you say is, can you add my icon to your game? I'm sure you don't even know what my game is. Do you know what the name of my game is? Or at least. So you subscribed. I think that's what you tried to say. I know you subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that, of course. But of course you need to show some interest in the project before asking the developer to do something about like adding something like your icon or your name or anything to the game. So in this case, like I said, I'm not asking for you to pay anything or to give me money or anything. I'm just saying that if you want for your icon to be in my game, maybe a couple months from now, or maybe a year from now, I want to see that you are around and maybe say, oh, I saw your game and I see how the game has evolved from then, and it's really great. So, you know, but yeah, anyways, I don't want to get too distracted by this. That's my advice. So anyways, again, thank you very much for your subscription to YouTube. I really appreciate it. But yeah, basically try to show some interest and not only be asking for things. Okay. Yeah, I know you have been here in like older streams and stuff, so that's really cool. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your support and you watching the streams and commenting and stuff. So yeah, maybe in the future when I start like adding stuff to the stream, so well, maybe you're not on Twitch, you're watching from YouTube, but on Twitch, I don't know if you used Twitch but basically every channel has channel points. If you watch the stream on Twitch, you can get, well, not on my stream right now because I'm not an affiliate, but for other streamers which are like affiliate or partners, they have channel points. So if you watch their stream, you gain channel points for every, I don't know, every 10 minutes you gain 50 points or something like that. So they have rewards for a certain amount of channel points. So for example, for 10,000 channel points, you can get your name in the credits of the game. So that's one thing we could do. That's just like an example. I'm not going to do exactly that, but that's something you can do, and that shows me, if you redeem that reward, it shows me that that you are watching the stream, because you basically collected all of those points by watching the stream. Okay, that's a good way of showing support to the streamer. My little bro is a tattletale. I don't know what that means. So yeah. Anyways, now back to this. So yeah, basically this actually masking the astronaut indicator, like the starship indicator, should be really easy. So let's do that first. We have this, which is UI indicator. Okay, so this thing should be masked inside this. So I think I can do that really easily. Well, I should be able to do that really easily. Okay. I'm 14, bro. Okay, I see. That's fine. I don't know what you're trying to say with that, but yeah. So UI indicator. Now here I should add an empty thing. Okay, and this is going to be a mask. And now the thing is, the UI indicator, like this thing, should be inside the mask. And you know what? I think also the UI orbits should also be inside the mask. So yeah. It's just I'm Astis level 2. What's Astis? I'm having trouble understanding what you say. I don't know if you're... I think you're not native English speaker. So what's your main language? Mask. Rect mask 2D. So that should work. And I should be able to just grab this and do this. Well, now this is the thing I don't really like. Yeah, this is not going to be like centered. I really don't like that. Oh yeah. So what's this size? Why is this? Oh yeah. Okay, so this should go there, all the way there. So 91 and 44, I think. Okay, that's great. And then the position, yeah, that's it's just I have a bad habit of spamming the same word. Level 2 autism. That's me, the true me. Oh, but that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. That's completely fine. Don't worry. I'm not offended by anything you said. So don't worry about that. Okay, so Yeah, this should be fine. This should be there. Yeah, it's all good. All good. Don't feel bad about that. So yeah, this seems to be mostly fine, I think. Now the position X is the thing I don't really love. So why is this 0.5? I don't understand that, but whatever. So if that works, whatever. I don't care. So now, looks good to you? Okay. Okay, so so what happens if I move the pivot 49, 7? Yeah, I'm sure it should be like, there should be a better way of doing this. I'm sure. Like this should be here, you know, in the center. This should be there. And what's the actual limits of this? Okay, so what happens if I say 43, 40, 41, 42? Okay, 42 seems to be working, and then width is going to be 90. Okay, so maybe that works. 90 and 42. The Indio is cool. What's the Indio? So now you can see this is basically masked by this. So now it can go like outside of this box. That's what I wanted. That's perfect. For this side is also working perfectly. So that's great. Now what should also happen is when we get like outside of this, it should do that. It should be showing, okay, you're like to that side and you're outside of the actual normal space. So I should be doing that. Okay. So yeah. Now your orbits and UI indicator, everything is in place as far as I can tell. Okay, perfect. So it's a farting of a whale, you know. Okay. Okay, so now let's test this really quick. Let's see if this is correctly fixed. Okay, so now I'm here. Okay, that's perfect. There's a tiny planet here. Let's go there. Okay, there it is. Look at it. It's a tiny planet. So we have that, and we have also another planet here. Can go there. Okay, that's amazing. And now, where's everybody? In the game, you say, or here in the stream? So you can see here, the indicator should be basically just, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. So now, now the issue with this is that it's, the indicator is now not on screen anymore, so you don't really know where you are. So even though you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be going like outside this space because there's nothing outside of the space in the stream. Well, I have no viewers right now. You're the only one here watching today, so it is what it is. I'm a small streamer. So, as I was saying, even though you shouldn't be like going outside of this space, because there's nothing outside of this space, and it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's pointless to do that. Anyways, we should be like indicating to the player where this where at least to what direction you're going to. Okay. Oh, true. Yeah, it is what it is. So so now let's go to, oh, you know what? I should also add something here. I need to add this task to the backlog because otherwise I will forget. So yeah, fix probability curves for star count. Yeah, I think that's fine. For constellation star count and also for planet, for stars, planet count. Okay, perfect. So yeah, that's something that just came to my mind and I need to fix that at some point. For now, it's fine, it's whatever. But at some point I should be fixing that, so yeah. Okay, now. Planetary system sim. Okay, mask astronaut position indicator inside the panel. That's already done. Now clamp the arrow indicator position to be inside the bounds. Okay, so this is basically for doing it so that when the starship goes outside of this, then there should be like the arrow should indicate that you're to that direction. In the same way, it should do it for all of the directions. If you're like up here, for example, the arrow should be pointing there, but always limited to this space. Okay, that's the idea. Had a dream there were some aliens that looked like Shrek. That was a really weird dream. But was it fun or was it scary? So yeah, that's what we should do now. So planetary system map. Okay, we have this and we have the astronaut marker. Okay, so now track astronaut position. We should also be, so we should be setting so set position relative to actual starship position. And now we should be clamping within the actual okay, the parent rect. That's what we should do. They were orange and they had more eyes. Okay, that's creepy. So maybe that's not fun. I don't know. So I should have mask rect. I should have this, like a reference to this. And here, I should say astronaut marker dot anchor position equals vector 2 dot clamp. Well, I can do that. So, so yeah, maybe, yeah, okay. This is for calculate the indicator position relative to actual starship position. Now, marker position, that X should be clamped so it should be clamped. Okay, let me see something here. I need to go here again. So this has a width of 90, okay, and the position of this is whatever X is that. So here you can see this is minus 45, so it should be clamped between, like, I don't know, minus this width divided by 2, and the same for the height. So the height of this is 42, so 42 divided by 2 is 21, so 21 is the limit, okay? But we're also going to add some offset value to that. So let's say here we do this mask rect the size delta dot x. So yeah, so I should do x limit is going to be this divided by 2 minus x limit and x limit. That's it. But we also need to add some offset of 10 pixels. Okay, well, it's going to be 5. I think it's better. And now y limit is going to be basically the same thing, but for the y-axis. Okay, so that plus offset. We are going to do the same for the y-axis and that. Okay, perfect. Here were more aliens, but they look like Greek craft with wings and 4 arms. Okay, yeah, that sounds crazy. So I don't know, it sounds more like a nightmare rather than a dream. Yeah, it's a bit creepy, I think. So perfect. Now let's see what happens with this. Okay, hey Ciala, how you doing? Welcome. It's been a long time, huh? So let's see what happens now with the indicator. Oh yeah, I didn't assign the actual reference. Okay, let's hit play here. Okay, great. I have been bathing at sea. Oh, that sounds great. Sounds great. Oh man. So is it summer where you are? Or maybe you were to another place, like on vacation or something like that. But where I live, we are currently in winter. So yeah. Oh yeah, Europe. So Spain. Okay. Yeah. I can see. Yeah, it's exactly the opposite of where I live, which is winter right now. So yeah. Sounds good. I would like to travel to Spain at some point in my life. Never been out of my country, actually. It's a big country, and I've been to many of the, I would say, the states. They're not called states here, but yeah, I've been in a lot of places. I've been to a lot of places here in my country, but never been out of the country. So I would like to do that at some point. So, so now we should be able to see how the marker is limited, like the actual position of this is limited to the border, even though the starship, well, I don't know if that's working because I can't really see. But there's just the map, UI, generate panel is not that. Indicator. Okay. Yeah, we can see there it's -50, so it's clamped. It is actually clamped. You can see it here. Okay, that's perfect actually. So, okay, that's amazing. So what happens if I go like there, for example? It's -26. I'm actually thinking that maybe the offset should be like maybe even like smaller. Instead of 5, it should be something like 2. Yeah, I think it has to be 2. So for this offset, let's set it to 2. And now the other thing I have to do is this. So what I want to do is, depending on which side the indicator is in, okay, so if the indicator is on this side and the starship position is like out of bounds, then this should rotate like this. Okay, so if I use control, I can rotate with those steps. So it should do this. Okay, so it basically shows you that you went to that side and you're and yeah, so you're out of bounds to that side. So even though you can't really see your exact position because you're like beyond the actual space of the planetary system, you can see the direction that you're on, like where you are in, so that then it's easier for you to come back to this space. Okay, that's my idea for your games. Oh, the aliens you were talking about before. It sounds fun, not gonna lie. So yeah, that's what we're going to do, and for that I need to know first, this is so 90 degrees is for when we're to the right side, okay, and then -90 is for when we're to the left side. Okay, so with that I think we basically we can basically say that here okay, so now astronaut marker that I think it's Euler angles. I think it's that. So Euler angles is going to be so okay, I think that should work. Now, Z rotation should be if marker pos.x is less or equal to x limit, then it should be, I think it's minus 90. So 0 should be minus 90. Else if marker pos.x is higher or equal to, oh yeah, this is minus x limit, and then this is x limit, and 0 is going to be 90. Okay, then else if, I need another else if for the y axis. So now if this is less or equal to this, well, in fact I should only do it for when it's higher or equal to y limit. Yeah, then 0 is basically going to be 180. Okay, so I think that should work. Let's check it. Okay. Okay, great. So let's see what happens if I go here and just go to the left side like crazy. Let's see. It should rotate right as it gets to the limit. Okay. Okay, it seems like it's working. So now we can see that it's going up. Okay. Seems perfect for me. Like to me. Not for me, but to me. Okay. Now, you can't really see it here, which is not great. Let's see what the actual offset is. Maybe I should use a different offset for the y-axis, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. So it's there. Well, yeah, I think it is what it is. So okay. Okay, so I think, yeah, it's prioritizing x-axis versus y-axis, and I think it should be the other way around. Well, I don't really know, but it's working. So you can see now it's indicating that we're like far beyond to that side, okay, to that direction. Okay, what the hell? Oh yeah, because we're actually seeing this now. So I think maybe the actual offset should be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't even use any offset at all. So I'm gonna try that, but first I want to see if it's working nicely here. Yeah, of course, it's working perfectly. That's amazing. That's pretty good. So good. So now, even though you're going out of bounds, like beyond this space, you can at least see to what direction you are. So that's amazing. Yeah, that's basically perfect. So maybe the actual offset shouldn't even be there. So let's set it to 0. Well, actually, let's remove this entirely. And I shouldn't be using parentheses there. This doesn't make any sense. So let's see. see now what happens. Okay, so now it should be, the indicator should rotate much sooner. So let's see how it looks now. Yeah. Well. I don't know, man. Is that like 1 pixel? Yeah, it should be 1 pixel, I think. That's the actual offset. It should be 1 pixel. Let's set it to 1 pixel because I don't really like that we see like the tiny pixel there. It's not good. So let's see now. Okay, so now it should be perfect. And with this, we should have this basically finished. So we could let's see. Okay. Okay, yeah. Looks perfect to me. Okay, so now we're going upwards. Okay, now you can see that like there, like the arrow is mostly covered, and I don't really like that, to be honest, but it is what it is. Now let's go to the left side and see how it rotates there now. Okay, okay, that's perfect. Okay, so yeah, I think it's basically working. Now there's something weird with this, and that's basically that when I stop the hyperspeed, for some reason it rotates to like anti-clockwise, and I don't really know why that's the case, to be honest. Now there's another issue, and that's basically that the arrow shouldn't be covered here. That's the other thing. I don't really like it being covered there, but yeah, for now I think it's fine. It's whatever. So yeah. Okay, so now that's pretty much done. It's amazing. So we can basically go here and just remove this, okay, and remove also this, and that's gonna be it. Okay, now let me go to fork and push this. So let's go here. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to close this because otherwise it doesn't work. So okay, perfect. Oh yeah, I need to do this first. So yeah, I think that's perfect. So now I can just push this. Fork update. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to update that later. Okay. Okay, amazing. So now we have this pushed to Git. I'm gonna close this, and I think that's going to be it for this stream. Yeah, the thing is, it's not even like 2 hours. And it's funny because I always say like, yeah, on Saturday I can stream for longer and stuff, but I really feel like doing other things right now, so. And I basically completed the tasks I had for today, so I could keep going, and I could be, well, I could work on this. For example, I could work on this. There's a lot of things I should work on, but I think I'm going to do that in the next stream. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this stream. So, so yeah, basically, we're going to end the stream now. And yeah, so I want to say thank you to everyone who came to the stream, everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who chatted. And thank you for the raid. Linux Sword, thank you very much for the raid and also for the follow. That was crazy. I'm seeing that we're receiving a lot of raids and stuff on Saturday, so I didn't think Saturday was a good day to stream. But it seems like there's some people doing streams on Saturdays. I don't know. So yeah, anyways, that's gonna be the stream for today. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to join the Discord, okay? As always, don't forget to join the Discord if you want to get notifications for when I go live, and also if you want to share your stuff, your art, games, music, anything, your code or whatever you like, you can share there. And I also try to share some stuff that I don't do on stream there. So yeah, I don't know, it's a bit quiet for now, the Discord, but maybe over time it's going to be a little more active, and I will try to start sharing more stuff there. So yeah. And oh yeah, and also if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, okay? I stream like between 3 and 4 times a week, and if you want to follow the development of the game, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and there you can find all of my streams, okay? So that's the great thing about YouTube. That's why I'm streaming on YouTube too. Like, I'm streaming on Twitch and also on YouTube. And that's because YouTube saves, I'm basically saving all of the streams on YouTube, so they are available for everyone to watch. And that's how I document the entire development process of the game, okay? That's my idea. That's the whole idea of this. And also to share it to everyone and to grow a community and to interact with you guys, okay, which is really good. So that's amazing. So be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, join the Discord, okay? And other than that, that's gonna be the stream for today, and I see you in the next one, okay? Bye bye.